We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Andre SOG Ward, Hall of Famer, gives his opinion on why Canelo has yet to face David Benavidez. That's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I just watched an interview from Fight Hype, and I usually try to catch it if it's Andre Ward, especially if he's talking about a topic that I'm interested in. And that's because Andre Ward is articulate. He knows how to eloquently express himself, and he's also a hell of a fighter, an accomplished fighter. So he's a cerebral, great boxing mind. So usually you get great input. Now, he was initially talking about David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. Benavidez's last fight, he said Plant won a lot of those rounds. He won a lot of those early rounds. For Benavidez to weather that storm and not panic, you got to give him credit for that. So right off rip, I already agree with Andre Ward. I told you guys the same thing. In the Benavidez-Plant fight, it was a fight of halves, where Caleb Plant was very well, pretty much dominating the early half of the fight, and David Benavidez stuck with his game plan. Caleb Plant has faded in second halves of fights, even the Uzcategui fight. David Benavidez is a bit bigger, he's super rugged, and he hits harder, right? So he started to break Caleb Plant down. Caleb Plant started to wither, and really experience and heart kept Caleb Plant up and upright, because it started getting nasty in some of them later rounds, close to a stoppage. But credit to Caleb Plant, he should just definitely be resting up and, then waiting for his next assignment. Now, Ward did talk about Canelo and why he has yet to face Benavidez. In Andre Ward's opinion, he says, quote, "It's a reason why Canelo hasn't fought him being David Benavidez. Nobody likes fighting a guy that has that output, especially when you're a guy that doesn't have a lot of output." He goes on to say Canelo is economical with his punches. He relies a lot on power, timing, and skill. He lets guys waste their energy, and then he'll come on, and he believes his power, he believes in that, in his power and his accuracy is going to bail him out, and it has for many fights. So nobody really wants to fight a dude like Benavidez, and you have to add in his height and his reach, and he's not a scary fighter, meaning he's looking for the smoke. That's a lot to contend with. If they fought, I know Canelo's going to come ready, and he's probably going to be what he needs to be in order for him to compete with Benavidez. I think you got to lean towards Benavidez. I don't say you got to, but with the output, I'd like to see how Canelo deals with that, because Benavidez isn't just throwing to throw. He's got power in those punches. A good boxer understands distance and range, whereas conditioning and physical strength, as you saw early on with Plant, they can cut that work rate down, so Canelo is not going to just stand there. Canelo has a great boxing mind. He's going to do his thing, and he's going to be skillful. Benavidez isn't going to be able to get those shots off. I don't want to say you have to favor Benavidez. I want to say it's a great matchup stylistically, and I hope to get a chance to see it, end quote. So Andre Ward, he kind of walked back the prediction and was a bit more diplomatic towards the end, basically saying that, it's just a good fight. Both guys got to come with their best and do the thing. And he just sounds like an interested spectator of sorts, and he just wants to see how it would play out, but there's obstacles for both to deal with. So basically, he respects both. So I get it. Now, my opinion is going to be less diplomatic because, it's my channel, so I'm going to give you my thoughts. I agree with Andre Ward. I think there's a reason Canelo hasn't fought not just Benavidez, but a ton of guys, like Southpaw Demetrius Andrade, Jamal Charlo, and, even newcomers like David Morrell. And I know some people be like, oh, he just getting started, blah, blah, blah. But I don't really want to hear that, because if you're going to fight Avni Yildirim under any circumstance, or even John Ryder ducked David Morrell. So you could easily give David Morrell an opportunity if you truly want, but we know Canelo doesn't want to do that. I do think Canelo is a great fighter. I think he's talented. He's done great stuff for his country, for his career. But I think Canelo's era is over, to be honest. Really don't feel like beating around the bush. I said it even before the Bivol loss. just because Canelo, I mean, just look how he's moving, and he's golfing and doing leisurely things. He seems like almost like he enjoys a lot of family time, which is cool. But boxing, you can't have one foot out and one foot in. I firmly believe it. Not with no damn David Morrell and David Benavidez and Beterbiev and guys like that who, like, for example, like, let's say Artur Beterbiev at 175. To my knowledge, all his coin, all his shekels, he makes in boxing. I don't know of any major endorse. I'm not saying they don't have any brand deals, but by and large, I think he gets paid to fight. He's a prize fighter. He doesn't have like a modeling career. He's not an actor. He doesn't have like big Jordan deal or Nike or anything that I know of in that regard. So he's still hungry. He still wants to prove and climb the top of the mountain, get undisputed. He still has career ambitions. Canelo kind of acts like I've already done everything and I'm a multi-weight champion and I make more money than everybody. So I've already arrived. From my estimations, you can't really do that in boxing because none of that stuff matters. There's people who come from inner cities and gangs and stuff, get into boxing, been boxing their whole life. And on any given night, if you don't show up and they show up, then it's a wrap. Like Andy Ruiz, he changed his whole trajectory of his career. Nobody was really I was, but not that many people were checking for Andy Ruiz prior to the Joshua fight. So one given night. So you got too many things. Like Benavidez, he just beat his first bigger name, like in a bigger, like this is his first pay-per-view, stuff like that. So he's trying to catch up and he's still trying to etch out things. So he's still going to be hungry. And I agree with Ward. There's a reason why Canelo hasn't faced certain guys, period. And Benavidez is definitely one of those guys because he presents a lot of danger. Canelo seems to fade late in fights and conserve his energy. He did it in the Triple G fight, the Trout fight. I seen it in the Shane Mosley fight, the Angulo fight, even though he stopped him late in the 11th round. Canelo gets tired. He gets really tired in the second half. He doesn't seem all the way paced. And the other thing is, Canelo has almost gotten lazy, if you will. And I'm not saying lazy in the gym or not, training and sparring. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the ring, his approach. He came out in the Bivol fight against a bigger guy and he tried to steamroll him. So it was real Teofimo-ish. I would expect that from a Teofimo, given the fact that he's younger, but that's how Teofimo tried to alienate and obliterate George Kambosos, and he ended up getting dropped in the first round because he did like Ryan Garcia did Tank in the second round. You can't just come with reckless abandon and trying to gun somebody down as if they don't have two hands too to punch back. So that's foolish. Now, the only thing is Canelo has a great beard, so he didn't get knocked down in the Bivol fight, but it definitely didn't go his way at all. I barely gave any rounds to Canelo Alvarez, and Bivol definitely toyed with him and, embarrassed him, in my opinion. So that's just a bad game plan. Even though David Benavidez fights nothing like Bivol, it's still a bad look to try to have a shootout because that's kind of David Benavidez's bag, and he's younger and he's bigger. And per capita, he probably hits harder at this weight. He's more natural at this weight. He's even talked about moving up to 75. So all in all, I don't know. I think Canelo's time, I'm not saying he'll retire, but I see his time at the top coming to a halt very soon because he's in between a rock and a hard spot and people are going to demand the bigger and bigger fights from him. And if he doesn't fight them, then he's going to go out that way and lose interest because people aren't going to keep settling for John Ryder fights and things like that. When you got the Charlos and the Benavidez, Charlo might move up, Andrade, and all these top quality names and Morrells and Beterbievs and Bivol rematch. There's just too many dangerous fights that are good, that are sellable. No one's going to want to see the Yildirim's and the Fieldings and the stuff. And who knows how long DAZN will want to even pay for those types of fights. Especially look at DAZN working with Showtime, seeing how Showtime promoted the Tank Davis fight and Ryan Garcia fight, and then look at the Canelo and Ryder fight, and look at the profits from each, and you get to see what it is. So that's really my thoughts. Andre Ward, I agree with him overall. I think Canelo, he could have fought Benavidez if he really wanted to. I'll leave it at that. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.